Right, we're on, Jeff.
Right.
Right, tell us that interesting stuff you was just telling me about where your mum was born and things.
Well, she's supposed to have been born in Tenerife or whatever, right? And they sort of like came over to France or whatever and got moving about Germany, you know what I mean? Because they had to move because of the Germans and whatever, you know? And they came to Liverpool at the time. That's how they got there. And they were waiting to go to America. But my mum met my dad.
Where did she meet your dad?
She met him in Liverpool.
Oh,
Because that's where a lot of the Africans finished up in Liverpool. And then she met him and they had a disagreement. She came to Manchester and then he came after looking for her and we got together, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's how they got together. And I was born then.
Are you the eldest?
I'm the oldest, yeah.
It's just two of you.
Yeah, just two of us, Leslie and me, you know. And I'm the oldest, but yeah, we had a good time. Well, I think it was all right. Perfect.
So I start everybody off with the same question, right? Tell us about your first night down the Reno.
My first night down the Reno is just walked in, music playing, and loads of people sitting on this side, and you go to the other side, there was light-skinned boys, so that was the corner, so I went that way, you know what I mean? Sat over there and we just started talking. And I knew a few of them, you know, because the older ones like. And that's the first time, really.
Who was you with?
Just on my own.
What made you walk in?
Because I used to go, I went, like other people said, we used to go to the Blue Note and things like that. From the Blue Note, go to the Reno, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Blue Note was a place. It was all right. There's plenty of places in town to go, though.
Was there?
Yeah, loads of clubs.
Like?
There was a place called Genevieve's. You got Genevieve's, haven't you, down my way, Dickerson Roadway, wasn't there?
Yeah.
And that place, Leslie loved that place. I didn't like that place at all.
Why didn't you like it? We used to go there.
Yeah. Well, they always called it the Dose Clinic, didn't they? That was its nickname.
Yeah, no, it's true, man.
That was a nickname of the place, the Dose Clinic. You know.
Yeah.
But I used to always go to, I don't know if anybody remembers it, a club called Jackie's in town.
Oh, yeah.
You know where the Armdale is now?
Yeah.
That front entrance where you go, that's where the club used to be.
Yeah.
And
I
Jackie,
forgot about Jackie's.
And I used to go around there, you know. We used to go, take me all over.
Who did?
The girl, the woman who owned it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And was she called Jackie?
Not really, but
yeah.
You know, it was more or less her husband's club, but he was sort of like gay as such, you know. They were both married, but they were, you know.
So was you a toy boy?
No, I was just a friend, looking after her. Because they used to go around with a load of lesbians at that time, you know, the girls, because they wanted to go out on a Saturday. And at one time they couldn't go out because you get a load of aggravation on the floor, so we used to go out with them, look after them, you know, go all over with them. And they've got a different experience to life than a lot of other people. And you go to different places that you'd never seen in your life, you know.
Like where?
Just different parties, you know.
Right.
You know, it's all right.
So how have you met loads of lesbians?
It's just new. And my oldest one, she's died, you know, Sheila, she died. I don't even know a girl called Val.
I know her name.
She lives over near the park, Moss Side Park, over that way, in one of them houses over there. Her name was Val, and Sheila. Val and Sheila, you must have known her.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, I've got pictures of her in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was just good friends with them. And as I got friendly with them, other girls, you know, we'll all go out, you know. I didn't have to spend a penny, you know. You used to get on the dance floor, and now you can get on the dance floor, two girls and dance. Them days, two girls get on the dance floor, you're lesbians and all the rest of it.
Yeah,
you know.
if you get stick.
Yeah, I used to get a lot of stick. Because remember, there wasn't that many gay places, was there, in Manchester?
No,
not as much as now, you know.
Yeah.
So we used to go around with them. They used to get looked after, all right. It was great. But life is just strange, isn't it, sometimes?
Why? What's making you say that?
It's just strange how, you know, things change in time, you know. But we believe things change, but front scenes don't actually change, do they? You know? You might have all these so-called rights and all the rest of it, but we really haven't got no rights at all.
What's making you say that?
Well, there's no freedom anymore, is there? When we were young, we had freedom. The kids today, all they've got to do is study.
Yeah.
You know, they leave school, and when we left school, you had a choice. You could go and get yourself a career or apprenticeship. Now what they do, the kids leave today, all they do is education, and they make it going to make it harder for them, aren't they?
Oh, I've no idea.
Yeah.
So that was your first impression of the Reno. What did you think when you went in? What did you feel?
I felt the music hit me.
Was it?
Yeah, it was all right. Yeah, I felt the music hit me. And like I said, I just went into for some reason, I finished up in the corner and was smoking a draw, and I thought, watching everybody dance, and I thought it was all right, you know. And I kept going. And one night I went there, I was at the top of the stairs, and Larty's got two guys from out of town, two white guys it was, and they're trying to get him free.
Right.
And, you know, like the stairs where he was, and Larty's like that, trying to stop him. And the guy's saying, no, I'm coming down. So I tapped the guy on the shoulder, and I said to him, you've got to leave. He's told you can't come down. So the guy said something to me, so I got over and chucked him out. The new one, we chucked him out, and then Larty said to me, thanks, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bought me a drink and everything. And then a few weeks later, you know, I kept coming down and said, do you want to help me on the door?
Oh.
That's how I started on the door, you know? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how we started.
No, I remember you being on the door. I remember you being there all the time.
Yeah. So he asked me to help him, so I said, yeah, you know. And there's Cola, whatever his name is, Cola, always got causing trouble. You know, you'd be trying to speak to people decently, and he's trying to cause trouble, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I used to get a lot of aggravation off the young boys, you know what I mean, because I wouldn't let them all down.
Yeah.
You couldn't let them all down.
Why? Because of...
You let them down, but you know, they just come from town and they've got about 6 or 7 people.
Yeah.
You know. And sometimes Larty would go downstairs, have a drink, and leave us upstairs, and he'd come back and he'd go and count the money. He knew how many people come down that stairs. He wasn't that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So you couldn't say to loads of people, go in. There's no money for you at the end of the night, is there? You know what I mean? Yeah.
Oh, you mean you couldn't let them go down free?
Yeah, you just let the lads come down, but if you've got a group of people, you say to them, you've got to pay, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
and you get a bit of growling at you, you know what I mean? But it never bothered me.
Did you have like an amount of people that you would let in, or did you just...
There was a lot of you know, like the heads what are already there, have been there for years and whatever with them lot. We used to let them down. That's what it was, you know. You know, like you said, like people say, Frank used to come down. You couldn't stop him saying, you've got to pay, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, exactly.
You know, it's just, you know, like the older lads are like, we didn't mind you coming down, but when you brought your group of people from town, stop thinking that you're some kind of VIP, right?
Yeah.
And somebody special.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't do that. What do you mean you can't do that? You can't bring these people downstairs. We don't mind you could come down, but you've got to pay for them, you know what I mean?
How much was it then, Jeff?
It was only £1.
Right,
What's £1?
I don't make enough scenes for £1.
Yeah.
But did you and Latty decide there was a time when there was enough people in the club and you couldn't let no more in? You know, from night to night?
Most of the time, but you know, people used to come in and out, but you just get as much people as you can, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's never really, I don't think really stopped anybody coming in, really.
Yeah.
You know, you used to get 2 packs sometimes.
No, that's why I'm asking, because sometimes you couldn't walk, man.
Yeah.
Do you remember, sometimes you just couldn't go to the bar?
You say to Latty, it's full, he said, £1.
That's his electric.
Yeah. That was how it was.
Yeah.
It was all right, Latty. I loved him, man.
Have you? Oh, did you? Go on, tell us the Latty story, Joe.
Oh, he was he's always telling me. He said, "You're a bad boy. You've got to behave yourself. Stop fighting and all the rest." You know, tell me all sorts. Do you mind answering this?
No.
Hello. All right.
Jeff, you was going to tell me a Latty story.
I was just saying that Latty was all right with us. You know what I mean? He was okay. You know.
You were saying about fighting. You said you have to stop fighting.
It was always
fighting with? I don't remember you fighting.
I know, it was always it's telling me I've got to stop fighting and I've got to behave myself and stop doing this and doing that, you know. I used to listen to him sometimes, you know, but I never, like you say, nobody ever, I've gotten a lot of fights but nobody ever seen them.
No, I know, I've never seen you fight.
No, I'm just a peaceful person, really, you know what I mean? Life, I'm just peaceful.
Did you ever count the money on the door?
Not really. I trusted Larty, you know.
Yeah.
Give me what he wanted, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But whatever you got was okay, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like, them days, money was a lot of money, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You know?
No, I was just interested to see how much it took in any one night.
It took a lot of money.
Did it on the door?
Yeah. I'd take, well, you imagine all them people, £1.
Yeah.
We used to charge them. So I never really asked him how much, you know.
Yeah.
If I got a tenner, I was quite happy. If you give me 20 quid, I was happy, you know what I mean? Or a fiver, it was a bad night, a fiver, you know. Just depended, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's what buys you draw, doesn't it, and everything else.
No, exactly. Did he used to buy you a drink?
Well, I didn't really drink that.
Oh, you're not
a lot of people thought I drank. A lot of people used to think I drink, but I didn't really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell us the best thing you've ever seen in the Reno. The funniest thing.
The funniest thing I've ever seen is when some lads, I don't know if it's bad, but some lads put a little tab of acid in this girl's drink.
Okay.
And she was on the dance floor with her boyfriend and she must have thought she was in his bedroom. She was kissing him up and feeling him up and she didn't know where she was. I thought, you bad boys, you know what I mean? And you even yourself, you see, there's just, you had characters.
Yeah.
You just had characters in there, you know. And it was okay. Some of the people.
Name some of the characters then.
That's it. I just can't remember them. Just can't remember them. But when some of them, when it, like they put the music on, and they start dancing, you know, in their own little worlds, you know.
That used to happen to me.
Yeah, but we was all in our own worlds, though, weren't we? You know what I mean? It really was. And Flappy used to be dancing all over the place.
Yeah.
He used to be doing the splits, doing something, wasn't it?
Tell us the worst thing you've ever seen in the Reno.
I've never seen anything really worse in the Reno. I've seen things outside the Reno, next to the Reno, with two Jamaican boys fighting one night. And the next thing, you know, the guy's like that holding his stomach and the guy stabbed him. And you could see his stomach hanging out and the guy's pushing it. They got to get, that's one of the worst things I've ever seen outside the Reno.
Wow.
Arguing over some woman that he said that he took and he's not got the money and all, you know. And the next thing, the guy was stabbed up and the guy was holding his stomach. I think that's one of the worst things I ever seen.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you could see his intestine.
Oh, yeah, it was just right across the road it was. And we went over and he's like that ambulance and everything else. The night, and that's one of the worst things. But there was a few people get stabbed them days though, in there, really.
Do you think he made it, Jeff?
I don't really. I think he did. You know, I'm not quite sure.
Did you see him again?
I can't say I seen him again, but he probably did. But I'm sure he did because they got the ambulance and everything to him. But it was bad. Them boys always used to fight with knives. Yeah. So when you argued with one of them, you had to watch yourself. Yeah. I used to watch her hands, me. Yeah. You know, that's what you had to do.
What, two Jamaican lads?
Yeah, just arguing over some hustler, you know. Oh, that's what it was about. It was he's supposed to touch her or he's supposed to take her money or something like that. And, you know, they're all gamblers them days. Yeah. Because they used to take the women, they have the women used to come, give them the money, and they'd be upstairs gambling with it. Yeah. That's how it used to be.
It was mad, wasn't it, man? Yeah. It was like the Wild West, wasn't it?
But at the end of the day, the people who run Moss Side were the police.
Tell me what you mean.
Well, take the Reno.
Yeah.
You had to pay sometimes just to keep it open.
Did you see this happen?
Well, I was there one night before all the doors opened, right? Yeah. And all I seen was, everybody used to think it was Larty, you know what I mean? But I went downstairs and the place went open and when you know where the cafe was, the little restaurant? Yeah. I was in there and all I seen was filled, then these two coppers in uniform, you know, suited up. and they were both in the back, and all I seen Phil was giving this envelope.
Right.
You know? And that's all I said. I can't say it was money, all I seen was an envelope, you know what I mean? And they were, I was thinking, why them two in the back there, you know what I mean? And there was Phil. I think a lot of the people who run the shebeens paid the police.
Yeah.
Because if they didn't pay them, they'd come and raid them, take all the drink and everything else, and have a party themselves. You know what I mean? I think
So they're the Wild West as well, yeah. The cops.
And like some of the girls, the girls who also used to tell me, sometimes they get picked up, they'd have to give them something to let them go. You know?
Sex.
Well, yeah, there's sex, yeah.
Wow.
And then, because they used to drive in their little bloody wagon things, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And
a lot of girls used to say that. They say, well, you know, it's better than getting lifted, innit? You know what I mean?
Wow, man.
That's what I used to think. I think the police are running this place, you know what I mean? Because half the clubs down there were all paying, you know what I mean? And people say, oh no, but they did.
Yeah.
And then you got a few people who were all informers, you know what I mean?
Right. What made you say that? Do you know that for certain?
There's certain things what went on and certain things what went wrong, and then, you know, people will get arrested. You know. It's just a life.
Yeah. It was a totally different scene, wasn't it? It's like unrecognisable to now.
Yeah. But it was, like I said to you the other day, most of us boys in there, we never fought. We all got on together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We might have a disagreement or something, but it was not about pulling guns out and pulling a knife out and all the rest of it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like now, you know what I mean? Young boys want to argue with each other and then they've got to prove themselves by going and shooting them or pulling out a knife.
Did you feel you had to prove yourself in the Reno?
No, not personally, because as far as I was concerned, I knew myself,
Okay.
you know. And that saying that, I know that I could look after myself, you know. I took enough beatings off my dad to dodge him, you know what I mean? I learned how to dodge, you know what I mean? And as long as you know in your own heart that you can look after yourself, you don't have to worry going anywhere, do you? You know what I mean? I think I've always been a confident person.
Yeah.
You know, I get on with my life and that's it, you know. But I don't think I've ever been frightened of anything or anybody really, because just human like me. You know, we're both made out of flesh and blood.
Yeah.
And we have a fight, one of us is going to win or lose. That's how I used to be, you know what I mean?
Who was you tight with in the Reno?
I wasn't really tight with anybody, really. But Ryan, as I said the other day, Manny Buckle, they're the young boys that used to come with me and they make a few bob with me and they think, flipping hell, this is easy.
Yeah.
And they go down the Reno, spend it, you know. They think, Jeff, that's great, can we come back with you? I had a few like that, you know.
Make a few bob doing what? Or is it private?
It's not private, just, you know, getting up to no good.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Make a few bob, and then they thought it was great, you know, they got £50 or whatever in the pockets, you know, and then go down the Reno. It was great. There was Manny Buckle and Ryan who died. I seen him 2 days before he passed on. What did he pass on with? He had cancer of the balls. He had cancer, testicle cancer. Wow. And he didn't realise it. It got him, they had an operation, but the cancer had gone too far. How old was he? Oh, I can't remember now. He was only young. Yeah. And I seen him 2 days on where I lived in City Road, because he lived on City Road as well. And I seen him, last time I saw him, was a leather coat on his trousers. And he said, I'm just going to the post office. And about 2 days later, I heard he was dying, you know what I mean? I thought, oh, bloody hell, there's another person gone, you know what I mean? Was this in the 80s? Yeah. About 80 something he died. It was always, no, it'd be later than that, it'd be the 90s. I'm sure it was City Road I was on then. A lot later than that. No, it was the 90s. Right. Because he's on the wall there. Oh, okay. Yeah. No. It should be about 90 he died, yeah, somewhere around then, 99, I can't remember. Yeah, he was a good friend of mine. You lose a lot of people going, don't you, in life? Yeah, it's a weird thing, that. Yeah. But before I was living in Cheetham Mill, my closest friend was a guy called Pete, you know what I mean? Me and him was together all the time, you know? Yeah. Yeah. And like when I lived up Cheetham Mill, you didn't have to cut it. It was great up there because you had the skating ring up there, we had a bowling alley up there, we had the skating ring up there, and you had Bellevue down the road, didn't you? You know?
Is this when you were a kid?
You went down there, yeah, because I moved into Cheetham Mill when I was about 15. I come out of school and I moved to Cheetham Mill because my mum said, "Oh, move now to Cheetham Mill," because she was married to Dolphus then, and they moved to Cheetham Mill. And I came out of school, and that's where I started from 15. I left school when I was 15, started working when I was about 15.
Right.
Yeah, I worked down.
Who's Dolphus? Is he black as well?
He was St. Kitts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and she married him. That's who, on the gravestone, her name is Sutton, not Bassey.
Right.
So she died as Sutton, you know, and I'm glad, I didn't want it changing, you know what I mean? Because the guy was a decent guy, he was alright,
Oh, okay.
you know, he was.
Yeah.
And then something happened after her, and he had to go back home, you know, and all that. But, you know, he was a decent guy. Dolphus, he was alright. And that's where I finished up Cheetham Mill. So I moved about when I was about 15.
So you used to come to the Reno from Cheetham Mill?
Yeah.
How did you used to get home?
Walk. I used to walk everywhere.
To Cheetham Mill?
I used to walk ask anybody about me, I walk everywhere.
How long does walking to Cheetham Mill take?
Well, you know, when you're young and fit, it doesn't matter to you, does it?
Yeah.
Because I used to walk, I don't get on buses, I use my bike now.
Yeah.
I'd rather walk to town. Like the other day I come up from Crumbs, I go on my bike all over the place.
That's why you look wonderful for 64.
I just love walking. But for the last year and a half, I've had to sit around. I couldn't ride my bike that much. I couldn't walk that much because I've had an operation, you know.
What on?
I was going over to, you've seen it over here in Hume, the park there, them silver things on the floor.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it was winter time and they just put them down. I'm going to the shop and I slipped.
Oh, wow.
And I went, oh, ouch, like that. And I didn't think nothing of it. And then I went to work and I went to the bathroom and I'd done the same Reno bathroom. So I didn't think nothing of it.
On the same day?
On the same day. And I thought nothing of it. And then all of a sudden I'm telling you like, about cancer, testicular cancer. And I could feel one of my things going bigger. So I went to the doctors and she said, oh, well, I'll go for a test. I had to go for a scan and everything else. She said, no, you've not got cancer, you've got water as tension.
Oh, okay.
So I had to have an operation. I had lasted that a couple of months ago.
Wow.
Yeah. Life comes at you all the time, doesn't it?
I know. Oh, it's never everything, isn't it?
Yeah.
Tribulation.
Well, you should have seen me when, you know,
Yeah.
say I went for the operation. I was supposed to have got it, and then he cancelled it twice, you know. But I was going, I'm not going for this operation, I'm frightened.
Oh, I'm frightened to be put asleep.
Yeah. And then I went in and I thought, well, you're not frightened of anything, so just do it.
Yeah.
And the best thing about it is when you go into that room, then they put all the monitors on you, then he puts an eagle in you, and the next thing you wake up in bed, you've had your operation and everything else.
Yeah, no,
I'm sat in bed like that thinking, why was I worried, you know what I mean?
Oh.
It took about half an hour to do the operation and it didn't feel like that. And my brother was there, Al Lester, and I'm waking up and he's saying, you all right? I'm going, yeah, where am I? I was out of my mind, wasn't I, on that, what do you call it? The drug that he gave you.
Anesthetic.
Yeah. I was like that for about 2 days. My son had to come and look after me.
Oh.
I was just...
Why did they throw you straight out of hospital?
Well, they do.
Come home?
Yeah. They leave you for sort of about a couple of hours to see how you carry on. And if you're all right, they let you go, you know what I mean? Strap you up and let you go and tell you that you take these tablets if you feel pain and all the rest of it. But I felt nothing really, no pain at all.
You're all right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me what you were talk about what you were talking about earlier about your mum's family. When you know when she was with the black guy.
Well, as far as when my mum met my dad and all that, and they were all her parents were planning to go to America. You know, they were all planning to go there, and she refused. She said, "I'm staying with him." You know what I mean? And then apparently, I don't know how true it is. They both have had an argument in Liverpool, and she came back here to Manchester. She come to Manchester, and he followed her, like I said. You know what I mean? Then he got a job in Manchester Docks because he was supposed to be an engineer, you know.
Yeah. It
was all right, like I said. And that's how they both got together. But me personally, I wish I'd never got with him.
Why?
Just the way he treated her, you know, after cheating on her and things like that. And she'd give up all her life for him, you know what I mean? because her dad wouldn't speak to her, and mother wouldn't speak to her. Mother put a curse on her and said, you'll never ever be happy in your life. She used to tell me about that. She said, you know, when her relationship finished, she'd say, my mother put a curse on me and I'm never happy in relationships.
Aww.
You know what I mean?
Is that because she wouldn't go to America, or is that because he was black?
Oh, she was black. It's because he was black, you know.
Yeah.
And you think that Jewish people would think, well, we're not going to criticise anybody. We've been through enough prejudice in our lives, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they didn't. They more or less chucked her out, you know what I mean? That's when she more or less come to Manchester and found her feet down here. You know, she got a flat and whatever. And then he came along. So Sam, I can't find that birth certificate where I was born properly.
Yeah.
But that's how they started off, you know. And like I said the other day, everything was all right till we was about 7, 8, you know what I mean? I had good Christmases, I had presents, everything. And that's when we moved to Hardwick.
Yeah.
We had the house down there. We moved from Moss Side to Hardwick. And everything was all right till I was about 7, 8. And then it just all went wrong, you know what I mean?
Why? What happened when you were 7 or 8?
It's just that my mum went out one night, met a woman. My mum always felt sorry for people, brought her back to the house. Like I said the other day, you bring the devil into your house and that's it, you know.
This is what your dad said, you've brought the devil.
No,
I get, I didn't understand.
Yeah. Because everything was perfect. We had, you know, we didn't have to do anything. My dad was a laugh, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then he just totally changed when she brought this girl into the house, my mum. And she said, oh, she'll be okay, she can look after you when we're out, you know, working and whatever. And everything was all right until my mum came home and caught them both in bed.
Oh,
and that was the end of that relationship, you know what I mean?
Did she end it straight away, your mum?
Well, she tried to stick it out for a bit, you know.
Yeah.
But my mum was a strong person, you know what I mean? She wasn't going to stay where she wasn't sort of like wanted, you know what I mean? That's how she felt. And she said to me and my brother, you come in, my brother said, I'm staying with my dad. I said, I'm coming.
So did he stay with your dad?
No, he did, my brother.
Did he stay with your dad?
Yeah, my brother stayed. He didn't went to court and everything, and he said he wanted to stay with me, you know, my dad. And I said, no, I'm staying with, because he tried to get the two of us.
Yeah.
And I said, there's no way you're taking me, I'm staying with my mum, you know what I mean? And he hated me for that.
Oh.
Yeah. But I didn't give a crap because I loved my mother. Me and my mother went through a lot. And then she come down to Moss Side, and she knew the Sings, you know, and all that.
Yeah.
And it was Mr. Singh, and he put us on, got a room, and we were right on the top 2 rooms it was, you know, the big old houses.
Where the Great Western Street?
Down Moss Side way.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think where,
Monton Street way.
Yeah. And we just got, there's loads of old houses around there, big houses. So we was on the top floor. And that's where my venture started in Moss Side again. I thought I'm back home again now, you know what I mean? And
how old, when are you born? What year are you born?
1952.
So you go there in 59. Yeah. So it is the proper big old houses, isn't it? It's the proper big old.
I'm just trying to think where I can't remember anything me sometimes, but there's big houses all round there, up for all their main roads with big houses. Yeah. And like where the brewery is there, that used to be a tiny little place. And where you go into the brewery now, that big entrance, that used to be a church.
Did it?
Yeah, there used to be a church there, and there used to be houses across there, shops on the corner.
Yeah.
And you had Webster School where I used to go.
Yeah.
I used to go to this playground that was on top, and next to that, you had a couple of shops, paper shops. And then on Wednesdays or whatever, they used to have the market.
They used to. I remember the market, yeah.
Where it
was massive,
because Wednesday was our day, the kids, we used to get me a little bit of money, go to the market and get all broken biscuits, stuff school, I'm going to the park.
Broken biscuits, big massive bag of broken.
Oh,
you could go to the park to eat your broken biscuits. Right.
It was a venture, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Go to the park, do a bit of fishing, catch a couple of old stickies.
So Jeff, did your dad bring your brother up till he was older?
Yeah.
Did he never come back to you, Mum?
No, they finished up in Hardwick then. That's when they both finished up, you know. But
and was it a court order that he
we had to go to court.
But he stayed with your
because
dad.
he tried to get the two of us, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Trying to say my mum was it. But I said to the judge, I'm not going anywhere. You know, I'm staying with my mum.
Wow.
So I stayed with her, you know.
So there's just the two. Were you in one room? You know when you went to Mr. Singh's?
No, we had 2 rooms upstairs.
Did you?
Yeah, we give me the bedroom, and you had the sitting room at the front, and you had the bedroom at the back. And at them days, the cookers were outside on the stairs.
Yeah.
And there was us at the top.
Yeah.
And I think there was another Singh family downstairs. You know, they were all called Singhs or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was an Irish family. There was about 3 of us in this house. And I tell you, I had some lovely food.
All the different types of food.
Yeah. And I think there was an Africans as well. And you should go back. You get a big plate of meat from fufu and sat there with your hands eating. I used to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And the Indians, they had them put off. I had some lovely food off them.
Of all the different. So why was you just knocking on the door to get in for some food?
No. You used to come down the stairs and say, yeah, you want some of this? That's how people was, wasn't they? You know what I mean? Would you like some of this?
Yeah.
I said, I've not tried that before. They say, you like it?
Yeah.
And you'd have it and it'd be, it's a bit hot, this. And you'd like it, you know. I never had curry goat before in my life.
Yeah.
When the guy said it's a goat, I went, you what? I think them foods, and I had it and it was lovely. You just had different food. Then you had my mother who would do a bit of Jewish food sometimes.
Right, well, I don't know anything about Jewish food.
Just how they prepare it, cook it and whatever, you know. I don't think it's anything special. Chicken's a chicken to me, you know what I mean? But it was okay, I loved that. And then I had my adventures outside, because everything was sort of like, not long after the war, there was like old buildings all over Moss Side, old houses. I used to go in all the old houses, get suits, shoes, anything I could take to the second-hand shop, the pawn shop. Not second-hand shop, they called it the pawn shop then. So you go to the pawn shop and say to him, how much you give for this suit? You know, he does it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Where was the pawn shop?
Oh, quite a few of them in Moss Side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got the pawn shops?
Yeah. And then there was like when Moss Side is now, where the police station was on the side, and the horses as well. And then you have the coal yard. Yeah. Yeah, things they used to have the coal yard, and there were the horses, and we used to go in there and brush the horses down and everything. They were bigger than us, well, like that.
The big Shire horses.
Yeah. Still on the bloody step like that. Bloody hell, you could walk underneath them and everything, them police horses.
Wow.
Yeah. And then you had the big Alec across the road, didn't you, the pubs?
Yeah. I
had the sign from there, you know.
Did you? Where is it?
Lost it. When in Birch Polygon, when everything went up, you know what I mean? I took it down because it was like, I can't remember, I think it was green, yellow and red. And the writing was in yellow, the one I had. And I took it down and I took it home. I had a few posters. I got one from town, Jesus Christ Superstar, just ripped that off the wall. I had some lovely ones.
So you said when everything went down, what do you mean?
When everything started happening in Birch Polygon, you know, police bothering me and whatever, you know. And they come one night and they were dressed in jeans and jackets and kicked my door in, and there was a big fight and they got injured and finished up. That's how a lot of trouble started in Birch Polygon.
What's Birch Polygon? That was
up Rush, near Dickinson Roadway. I lived up there, Birch Polygon.
That's the name of the flat?
That was the name of the street, Birch Polygon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know if you go down to the market, there's a disabled school down there.
Yeah.
Well, I used to face in that. I used to, right, if you look at that disabled school, look right across the road, I used to live there. They made them all private flats now. And I used to only pay about £11 for it.
So what did he come and kick your door in for?
Well, I don't know. That's the reason at the end of the day. You just, because at the time round there was a lot of robberies going on. And, you know, you're sat in your flat, minding your own business, and your dog comes running in, and some guy with long hair and jean jackets, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I hit him with an axe. Blood sending me axe. I used to have all weapons all over my sitting room. I had javelins and spears, anybody. And I had this fit. I just hit him, and he went down. I'm going down the stairs. This other character tries to grab me. I didn't know who he was.
Yeah.
So I gave him a kick. He fell down the stairs, kicked him in the face, and took off. But like I said to you the other day, I went round to this girl's house, and I said, these guys are just trying to mug me.
Yeah, because that's what you're going to think.
I didn't know who they was.
What year are we in? Is this the 80s?
Yes.
When all the taxing was going on?
Yeah, before that, the 80s. It's like 84, everything, when Mum died. So yeah, I was just saying early 80s, more or less, you know what I mean? So I finished up going to the Crown Court, and they both walked in, suited up, had a haircut, and my barrister just ripped them apart because they both started telling them different stories, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For some reason. So I was found not guilty.
Oh, okay.
Found not guilty. Whatever after that, anything wrong, they come bothering me all the time.
Right.
Then they set me up a few times, but how can you say it's not, you know what I mean? Because he's come to me and said that I've robbed a van or something, this lorry of clocks. And I said, I don't know what you're talking about. And they come back to the police station. They had me in the police station. You remember the Kung Fu slippers that we used to all buy?
Yeah,
right?
black ones.
Yeah. Well, I used to only wear them in the house.
Yeah.
They've come back to the police station, right, with a piece of cardboard, clean piece of cardboard with my footprint on it, and said that they found it in the van, in the lorry. I went, you are? I never wore them outside, you know what I mean?
Did you get off with that?
I got a ovation for that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I was just getting more and more aggravation off them. Everything just come bothering me all the time, you know what I mean? And then it came on top when they come and arrested me for robbing some video recorders, you know what I mean?
That's all part of it.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying to you. This is all started after I got away with the assault and the militia, whatever they want to charge me. I walked out the Crown Court and I thought I was free, but I really wasn't.
Yeah.
I just got a lot of aggravation off them. You know, didn't let it drop. And it's just set you up. A lot of lads will tell you, they used to set you up.
Yeah.
You know, just to get away. You go into court. Who are they going to believe? You?
Yeah.
Or the police? Them days. The police were gods to everybody, weren't they? You know what I mean? The biggest thieves going and the biggest crooks going, them lot. You know? It's like now, you get lads saying, the gangsters, right? The biggest gangsters are the police. They got the more guns, they got more people, haven't they? You know what I mean? They're the gangsters at the end of the day. And all this crap that you see on television where they go in and they're dead nice to you and all the rest of it, right, but it's right like that. Yeah.
So when they got you for the DVDs, what happened?
Well, they come and arrested me. I've gone to the police station and I thought, well, I've not done this because I've just left my house and I'm on the Curry Mile. Like I said, I was going down to get a draw from my side, minding my own business. Yeah. And that's what I told them. I said, I just passed. I was going down there to get my draw. So the cop was saying, well, you were seen carrying 3 or 4 boxes of DVD players. I said, no, I wasn't. So they said, okay. And I thought, well, I've not done anything wrong. The next thing you say, you're on an identification parade. And the identification came and the guy picked me out.
Wow.
Picked me out, well and truly. And I finished up going court, getting 12 months, you know what I mean? And then the world started collapsing then. Because it was about 83. And I was just finishing. I was supposed to be out after Christmas, and that was be 84. And my mum died in the meantime, you know what I mean?
While he was in prison?
Yeah. First of all, they come to me cell and said, you've got to come with us, like, you know, your mum's not well. But before that, she come to see me, you know, a couple of days before the Christmas, a week or something. And she come in a wheelchair and a nurse, and she gave me last thing she ever gave me was a Christmas card. Oh. You know, green it was with a red candle. And then the next time I saw her, I was handcuffed because the governor wouldn't let me off because of my violence on my record. And I thought, well, I'm not bring violence to anybody, you know what I mean? So I had to go and see her, and I was handcuffed. And then about a day after I've come back, then he come for me again, and Mr. Wright took me to to the hospital.
Yeah.
And I was in the car park, and he took the handcuffs off me, and he said, well, you want to start fighting or you want to run? It's up to you. I said, my mum's up there, so I just got up the stairs and just got to the end of the bed, and she just passed up.
Oh.
It's just life, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Do you want me to turn it off, Jeff?
Yeah, probably. Just get me out to go. The guy who did the robbery, I moved on to City Road, and I met this guy, and David knew him as well. And he said to me, he said, well, why did you get done for that robbery? I said, I don't know. I said, the guy picked me out. He said, we did it. We seen you crossing the road, but you had nothing to do with us, you know what I mean? And I said, yeah, very nice. And this guy must have been in trouble because about, I don't know, a couple of months later, he'd killed himself.
The guy who actually did the robbery that you got done for?
Yeah. He got his van, put a nose pipe in it, took it into his sitting room, phoned his son to come and get him in the morning, and when the son come, he was dead in the sitting room. Left the van on, all that carbon stuff.
Oh, right.
So he killed himself. Phoned his son to come and get him in the morning, to come and see him in the morning. His son's turned up and there he is, dead on the couch.
Wow.
Never understood it. Because I was a bit upset when he did that, because I thought I was dragging to a solicitor.
Oh, to get to clear your name.
Yeah. But I had no choice. I thought I wasn't going to plead guilty to it, but my mum was sick, so I had to go and plead guilty, you know what I mean? And things like that.
I don't understand, because your mum was sick, why would you have to go and plead guilty?
Just to get out, you know what I mean?
To get it dealt with.
Just get it over and done with, because I knew before she was in hospital, before she come and see me, right, that she wasn't well, you know. And I thought, well, I just want to get out, you know what I mean? And I thought, instead of going to the Crown Court and having this guy turn up in court as a witness against me, and I'll probably get a couple of years, I thought, if I plead guilty to the magistrates, I'll get 12 months.
Yeah.
I may be out. And I was lucky, really, because I always got parole. I did 8 months, I got parole, you know what I mean? And because I was always pretty good in prison, so I just got on what I had to do. I just wanted to get out. But unfortunately, it didn't work out that way, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
My mum got ill and that was it, like I say, brought her in, Didn't work out. I thought I'd be out for her. But my mum was okay. She had a nice place, she had money in the bank for her, and I always looked after her. I like this, just don't know why this Indian guy did it.
Yeah, go on, talk about that. What did he do? So you're going down Winslow Road, near what used to be the Trocadero Picture House, minding your own business.
Minding your own business, going to Moss Side to get a draw, like I usually do.
Yeah.
I lived on Dickerson Road, so I would go and rob on the road where I walk every day of my life, you know what I mean?
Right.
Because minding my own business, and I get to Moss Side, I get my draw. And like I said, I'm in my flat, next thing in the morning, my door's getting kicked in again, loads of police running in, because they always commanded, got me handcuffed and everything. And I said, what's going on now? He said, well, you're getting done for robbing DVDs, them
videos, it would have been videos at the time.
Like them things on the floor.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
And I said, I don't know what you're talking about. And like I've said before on the camera, I went to the police station and the guy picked me out.
So an Asian guy who's in one of the shops that's on Winslow.
No, the guy whose shop it was.
Who got the DVDs got robbed from.
It was his shop, yeah.
Okay, he said it was you.
Yeah.
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 And it wasn't you.
No.
Right?
No.
And then while you're in prison, your mum dies, and then you come out and you're with Triggy in this guy's flat, who then says it was him. Yeah,
this is a long time after now, when we sort of we all moved out of the Crescent, where they pulled all the Crescents down, to give us 700 quid to move out of there.
Did they?
Yeah. Well, they tried to get everybody out, and a lot of people left, not realising they were going to get compensation.
Yeah.
The 2-bedroom flats got more But
Right.
I was in a 1-bedroom flat. I got £700 to move.
Right.
And they
How
just,
did you get rehoused though?
City Road.
Right.
We just, it was City Road, they just done them up then, the old flats, them ones across the Mancunian Way there.
Yeah.
And me and Fiona, my ex-missus, we got one. And then they said to us, well, we're going to build these houses, do you want to come back over here? And we said, yeah. We weren't going to take this one, we were going to take the 3-storey ones around the corner. And then I came round the corner and seen this one, and I said, I'll come in and there's no plaster on the wall, nothing, just brick breeze block. And I said, we're having this one. Because the other ones were like 3 stories, you know what I mean? Your sitting room's in the middle and you got 3 or 4 bedrooms, too big.
Yeah.
Where this one was just right.
Yeah.
We got this one. Been here now 21 years.
Wow.
And as long as I've ever been anywhere.
Stayed in one place.
Yeah.
So you've moved to City Road.
Yeah.
And you and David's gone to. Do you know this guy who's done the robbery?
I think David knew him. And I think we knew him. And we just got talking. I think it was in David's place or my place. And the guy was saying, why did you get done for that robbery? You know what I mean? Because we did it. And I told him what happened, you know. And the guy said, that's wrong, that, you know what I mean? I said, it was totally wrong, you know.
Wow.
Yeah. Just the police at them times, you know what I mean? They weren't beating us up, they were doing something to us.
Did you ever get beaten up in the Reno days after police? Did you get trouble off them then?
No.
Yeah.
No, not really. The only trouble I ever had was then that after I did that to them police and I walked out at Crown Court, that's when my life changed.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. You thought you got away with it, you know. Well, I didn't think I got away with it. I didn't do nothing wrong. 2 strangers come smashing me flat, you know, doors down or whatever and try and grab me up. I'm going to defend myself.
Yeah.
And that's when it all happened, all the trouble. Anything that went wrong round there, they was coming knocking at my door.
Right.
You know, like I said before, they stitched me up with a footprint. You know what I mean? It's nasty they was, and that's how coppers was them days.
Yeah.
You know, there's bent as anything else. You know, they talk about us lot being thieves. They were bigger thieves than us. Yeah. Blackmail and whatever to people. But I don't know.
Tell me about the last night you went down the Reno. Do you remember?
Strangely enough, you know, I don't really remember that. Because I can't really remember because by that time we was all going out of Manchester, you know, going to London, like, you know, better pickings up there.
Yeah.
And then from London get on a train, go to Amsterdam and have a good time. But we used to go to Amsterdam and stay upstairs, get in this hotel, put our stuff up there, and then get on a train and go to France or wherever. Because once you're on the continent, you go where you want. You get on a train, you go where you want. So that's what we used to do.
Who's we?
Me and a few other lads.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's about 3 of us because we used to get a car, drive all the way to London, dump it in London, and then just make a bit of money, and then go to King's Cross and get on the hooker boat train.
Yeah.
And he used to go on the boat, great. And the Falkland Islands were going on then as well. You know,
Right.
not the Falklands, it was at Falklands.
So is that 90s?
90s, yeah.
So the Reno's already gone then, Joe?
Yeah, well and truly gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I honestly can't remember. I remember going down, I think the last time I went down, I remember being dressed in a leather coat, a white shirt and a little tie steel. But I don't know.
Why do you remember what you was wearing? Was it a special occasion?
No, it's just I always remember wearing a dress when I go out, what I'm wearing. I like to know what I'm wearing, you know what I mean? You never forget what you wear.
Yeah.
You know? Because I just love clothes. You know, I love clothes, I love shoes. So I always remember what I was doing because at that time I think it was a style or something. I don't know what it was, but I used to have a leather coat and it was like nice, and I always wore leather coats.
Yeah.
Yeah. The amount of leather coats I chucked away in my time.
Do you remember the last time you seen Matty?
No. It's hard to, I'm just trying to picture last time I saw him, and I can't. Because I think Larty had finished then, and then somebody else tried to take it over.
Oh, I don't know.
I can't remember. I used to have a lot of trouble with Phil's son.
Woody almost.
Woody, I think it was. He used to work behind the bar.
Yeah.
He always used to say to me, give me an arm wrestle, you know, and all that. And when you won him, he was all annoyed. He always wanted to try and test you, you know, because he was a young guy.
Yeah.
It was just weird.
Yeah.
Just a weird guy. I used to feel anything but weird. But I thought the Reno was a good place. They had a lot of good memories in there.
Yeah.
You can't take them away, can you? You know what I mean? And like people have said, the atmosphere in there was great. Hardly any trouble.
Yeah.
You know, hardly any trouble.
What was the atmosphere like to you? Try and describe what it felt like in there.
Well, it's hard to say because I probably had a loaded drawer, a tab of acid, and I felt great. Or I was speeding or something. Because you go in a Reno with me smoking, and a lot of lads you'd take a tab of acid, sit in that corner and just watch all the characters. And you see different things when you're on acid, you know, and all that. When I started seeing Flapper once when he was dancing, and he looked like he stretched out that far. I was thinking, good God, why is my son stretching?
Wow, you trippy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But nobody knows you. We were just sat in the corner, you just minding your own business.
Yeah.
And just watching all the characters.
Just doing their thing.
Yeah. I always found being just dead peaceful in there, you know.
Yeah.
Even though it was dark and whatever people say, you know. But it had its own little atmosphere, didn't it?
Absolutely.
Never leave it.
Yeah.
It's just a shame it had to come to get to the end. I think the police let the riots happen, you know.
Why?
I do, I just think, because the first night the riots happened, there was hardly any police. There was about 3 police on the corner and everybody was smashing buildings up. You know what I mean? I've said to them, why don't you go to town and smash that up?
Yeah.
Why smash our place up? Because that's what they did. Smash Moss Side up, didn't they?
Yeah.
In the end.
Yeah.
You know, instead of us, because most of us were fighting with the police. I was chucking bricks at the police and whatever. I had no problem with the buildings. It was the police I had a problem with, you know. And I remember we trapped a van once in one of them vans. We got him in the back, just chucking bricks at him. We'd got caught. We got a couple of years, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all I was interested in, was fighting with the police. They're the ones who cause all the trouble. And then other people were smashing the shops, and then you see women and that running across the road with 3-piece suites too, you know, chairs and anything was going.
I got me double bed out the riots,
yeah. I can imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, flip me now. There was loads of. I remember further down there was a jeweller's, and everybody jumped in the jeweller's window, and when they jumped in the jeweller's windows, the police jumped out.
The police was already in there.
Yeah, it was already. And did you remember it got right up to near the Curry Mile, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, we got there and they blocked us off.
Yeah.
Because we were going to smash that place up as well.
Yeah, so they contained it.
Yeah, they contained us there. Yeah. That's as far as we got, because come all the way down there and smashed everything on the way up, didn't they? You know, and I think that was the heart of Moss Side gone then.
Yeah.
All the old shops. You remember old Woolworths, what used to be down there?
Yeah.
That used to be my shop, that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to sneak in, get on the roof, go through the roof and go in it when nobody was in it.
And take what? Anything.
Oh, well, if somebody wanted a cookery set or something. It's all right, Woolworths.
Yeah. Everybody shopped in Woolworths.
Yeah.
Pick and mix.
Yeah.
That's your original pick and mix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you think of it though, like Moss Side itself was like a little town. We had shops, we had car showrooms, everything down there. We had loads of shops. It was a really, really little place, wasn't it, you know?
Absolutely, a proper community.
Yeah.
Do you think it ended with the riots then?
I think the art went out when the riots.
Yeah.
Because all them shops are gone, haven't they, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They took the art out of it. It's like anywhere, like Liverpool there. They smashed up tops with and all that. They're only smashing up your own place where you live.
Yeah.
You know. And what improvements really after the riots did they do? You know, not much improvements. Still, yeah. I think the riots just killed it off, and that was the end. And everything started then, didn't it?
Everything like that.
Oh, just trouble in it, you know. Shame that it just happened. Moss Side was finished. You know, when you come round in the morning and seeing all the shops and everything that you knew when you was a kid gone, you know. Because when I was a kid, all them shops were vibrant, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that was my area, that man. And like I said the other day, I used to come out the picture house on a Saturday and walk. It wasn't called the Reno then, but it was called St. Kells. And you'd hear the music, you know what I mean, playing.
Yeah.
And people going down. To me, they were the old people going down.
Yeah.
Right?
When you was little.
Yeah. And when you think about it, when I started going down the Reno, I was getting older and older, and they were old to me. But now I'm the oldest.
Yeah, you know? Yeah. We're the old people now.
Yeah. Like I said, we come from the 50s, right?
Yeah.
And then you got lads who started coming down from the 70s or whatever they were born when, you know.
Yeah.
Just like different generations of people.
It was a sad day, the day after the riots.
Yeah.
When everything, you know, the sort of the smoke and
when you see everything just smashed up. Yeah.
Yeah, and shots from our youth, our childhood, like.
Well, that shop next to the picture house, that
Dixon's,
that
Ironmongers, and Barry's, where we all got our.
I mean, an 80 store used to
yeah.
be next to the picture house, and that was just smashed up. It was a shame. And
yeah.
I think that was the art on Moss Side took out then. That's why I think the police just left it to her, you know. They didn't, I don't think they did very much to stop it.
Yeah.
But it's just one of the times and places, isn't it? I think you go back in history, everywhere's had riots of some kind, you know what I mean?
When people's had enough.
It's not like, oh, we just had we had riots, it's something new, you know. The Victorians rioted, didn't they? You know, they wanted better conditions, you know.
Yeah, true enough.
You know, gangs of New York, that's based on true stories, isn't it? You know, gangs like that, you know. It's just go back in history, you just find it sort of exactly the same, nothing changes, just the date and the years.
It's true. Before we finish, tell us your absolutely favourite memory in Reno. The most favourite thing that ever happened to you.
You can't really say because there's so much in it that whatever happens to you, you know.
Yeah.
I think I just can't say that because I think I had a good time all the time, you know. I don't think I really had a bad time down there.
Yeah.
You know, every day, because I was on the door, and it was like, I was on the door and the girls used to talk to me, and the next thing, you know, they're back at my flat, and I used to think to myself, damn, this happened, you know.
Go on, Jeff. Yeah.
Because there was a lot of people talking about Reno with this and that. But imagine all the girls and guys who came from everywhere. There was people coming from everywhere, Scotland, you know, places like that, just to see the Reno.
Wow.
Essex, there's a lot of girls who used to come down from Essex. And I used to go with a few girls who used to come down from Essex.
Did you?
Yeah.
Jeff and his Essex gal then.
There's all different. There's loads of people come down. You're young then, aren't you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're Andy, aren't you?
Yeah. And in a good position as the doorman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a few guys. Well, I had a flat in Birch Collingwood because I went to live back with my mum for a little bit, but I always had a flat.
Yeah.
I always kept a flat because the flat was only like £11 a week.
Yeah.
And that was nothing. That. You know.
So you kept a flat for just bringing your girls home.
I mean, and it's like Kathy, me, David's mum. You know what I mean? That was a bet, but finished up. I had a baby. You know, that's David.
What do you mean it was a bet?
We come out of was it Barry Fredericks' Shabeen one night, and she was drunk and I was stoned, and her brother said to her. And she said, I bet you can't give me a piggyback all the way home. I said, I can give you any piggybacks. And that's how we finished up. Woke up in the morning, found to finish up with it.
And how long was you with her?
Not that long.
Oh, okay.
No, just a one night stand, really.
And you had a baby?
We had David, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
David.
Wow.
Greatest thing in the world.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you lived with your mum for the rest of the week then?
I used to just go, look after her, go and see
Yeah.
if she was okay, and have my little room there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when I'm getting up to no good, I used to come back, sort things out. I would make sure she had enough money in the bank for her, because I got a little bank account, make sure she was okay. She didn't ask anybody for anything, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's my mum.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. They used to call her Little Betty.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Why was she short?
Yeah, as you can see on that picture, she's short. It looks like she's tall, but I think she'd be up to my shoulder now, about up here. She's only got, and all the
She
African,
looks like you in drag, man. I
Yeah.
tell you, she proper looks like you.
and she was, she, like I said, she knew the sings, she knew a lot of African people.
Yeah.
She even got a little job in my side in a little yam shop there, helping out,
Yeah.
She was okay. She did okay, we survived. It's not like I was dying and needed things, you know what I mean? And then they took me off, didn't they, I went to a place called Great Morton Hall School, because I couldn't get on in the day schools.
What do you mean you couldn't get on?
Just couldn't get on. I wasn't a person that, I'm going to put my hand out and you're going to hit me. Or I'm going to bend over and you're going to hit me.
Right.
Well, remember them days?
Yeah.
It was the cane, or this statistic, he used to have a pump, an old black pump it used to be, and it was dead shiny, and he'd have a chair, and you had to bend over like that, and whack on your backside.
With what? With the pump?
With the pump.
With a bicycle pump?
No, a pump. Like the pumps that you get.
Oh, a black pencil pump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, them things.
Oh my God.
And he had, I think it was a size 10 or whatever. It was big, and it was shiny, and he'd bet you on, whack you on the backside with it. Or the teachers put your hand out in this classroom and then whack you with the cane. Well, it used to be a cane then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't do that. So where did they put you?
They took me to Great Morton Hall, some school there.
And boarded you? You had to stay there?
Yeah. I loved it.
Did you?
Oh, I loved it, yeah. Loved the school.
And how long was you there for?
I was there till I was 15.
From what age?
From about 10, 11, something like
Bloody
that.
hell, man.
Well, it was great because he came home and school holidays, it was like going to school,
Yeah.
But
And where was that?
that was in Cheshire, just
okay.
behind Great Morton Hall, in that big hall.
Yes.
It was behind, there's a big castle.
Yeah.
But I think now it's an hotel.
Yeah.
Big castle. And it was great because I learned a lot, I was the best cross-country runner.
Right.
I used to love boxing. I used to come down to Manchester and box. I used to
Yeah.
box for Cheshire.
Right.
I won a few box, and then we had judo. Got a few belts off that. There was anything you wanted to do, they'd do. We had a cricket team. We had a good cricket team as well.
So was it a straightforward school or a school for troubled kids, as they say?
More or less troubled and whatever.
Yeah.
People who couldn't get on, but it was
Yeah.
not. It wasn't like a strict. It was just
Yeah.
living in a castle. It was great.
Wow.
I can always say that I've lived in a castle in my lifetime, and that's what it was. Because you had everything, you had freedom. I even joined the cadets, I was in the army.
Yeah.
Yeah. 48 attachment, Congleton, Cheshire, sir. That's what you had to say when you was on parade.
Yeah.
48 attachment, sir, Congleton, Cheshire,
Yeah,
sir.
you're a dark horse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I say, a lot of people just don't know a lot about
No,
me,
they don't,
really.
do they? They don't.
They think
People
they
are
do.
such dark horses, man, have got such lives.
But, a lot of people think they know me, who don't really know me. Because that part of my life, I wasn't down my side, I was living in Cheshire, wasn't I?
Yeah.
And I was there's only me and the next Jewish lad, and he was a light skin. But I was the only dark one there.
Yeah.
And nobody ever called me black, never brought my colour into it. You know what I mean? Never.
So was it for Jewish people?
No, it doesn't always. There's loads of lads who went there.
Why?
Yeah, it's just lads who just couldn't get on in schools, day schools or whatever, you know what I mean? And they'd send you there, that was part of the government's game, wasn't it? You know what I mean? But,
no, but it sounds like you had a good time.
I think it was great. I learnt a lot. Huh?
No, it sounds like it benefited you.
Oh yeah, it was great. Like I said, you learnt everything, you know what I mean? You go farming, we had a barge that we used to go on, and come all the way to Manchester on it, learning to do the barge.
Wow.
I used to go on, at summertime when the holidays, you could come home, but I used to take a week, right, not coming on. We used to go on the army cadet training courses and that. That was great, that.
Yeah, yeah. No, I can see that suiting you.
And then, you know, you're there and you learn how to take guns apart and how to take a rifle apart. And, just blanket it, clean it and everything, you know. And then you'd get you up in the middle of the night and you'd have to put all your camouflage and go out, you know, doing things great. Coming out of helicopters and things like that.
Wow.
Flipping great. Because they used to take you to this park, like Johnstone Park, with all trees.
Yeah.
And they say to us, like 3 in our team, and they say, there's your map, there's your compass, get out of it. And there's a cup of tea when you get there.
Yeah.
And I think we were the second team home. I was sick because we were first. I wanted it first. But that's how we had to do. You had to learn map reading. So I passed my part 1, I was going for my part 2 and never went for that. But I passed.
Why did you not go for that?
I never bothered.
Right.
I was just leaving school, wasn't I, you know? But I loved the uniform.
So Jeff, how have you learned? I don't want, because you've just been on a high, but how have you learned all that and then not done anything with it when you left?
I've done. I think when I left school, I just worked pretty hard, you know.
Yeah.
For a couple, I would work for. So I was about 17.
What did you do?
I was in Cheatham. I was band cutter. I had to roll cloth,
Yeah.
you know, women's clothes.
Yeah.
You know, roll it on this roller,
Yeah.
right? Get it measured, and then go across it with a cutter.
Right.
And cut the cloth, and that's what I used to do. And then I used to put patterns down and cut them out and things like that. I've made handbags before today.
I've made handbags.
Well, my Uncle Sam, my mum's the only person, and my Auntie Rose, who was Jewish, in Cheatham Mill, they had a little factory in one of the old houses.
Yeah.
So I used to go in and help them. And they were the only ones really out of the family who used to talk to my mother.
So they didn't talk to her for all that time?
Yeah. Well, you know, they're the only two not really talk to me, you know.
I didn't even think about that. So her mum and dad never spoke to her again?
Mum and dad lived in just up the road in Cheatham Mill, further up, you know, posh part of Cheatham Mill. Yeah. And that's where they lived. Well, she never had anything to do with them. But when she died, right, and I was locked up, he come along and took everything. But the trouble when he did that, he took everything. He took her photographs, he took everything that she owned. Okay. And I don't know what he did with it, you know what I mean?
Are they dead now?
Oh, I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I lost a load of pictures and things like. I wasn't really bothered about material things, it's the pictures that I lost.
Memories in the pictures. Because
there's loads of pictures of me and my mum, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So all they were lost, you know what I mean? Well and truly lost.
Oh, Jeff.
Well, you do go through life losing things, don't you?
Yeah, I've lost loads of pictures and loads of things. It's really.
Well, I've always found life is you can kick you down, you know, sometimes. You know, when you think everything's going out right, and they kick you down. But you've got to have a strong personality to come back to it, you know what I mean? You're always testing life, aren't you? You know what I mean? But you've always got to think of all the good times that you've had. You can't have, you know, think of all the bad times. No, because it does change how you feel. We was just happy a minute ago, weren't we? When you was talking about your school and you was happy. Yeah. We was happy, weren't we? Yeah. You know, like. Well, you get people saying, I've never had any happy memories. What do you mean never had any happy memories? You know, you must have had some, you know. Nothing whatsoever. Yeah. I've not had any good memories. Do you remember when you had Christmas or birthday? Oh yeah, but that was different. It all went, but you still had good memories, didn't you? Something. You always got to have. I think I've had more good memories than bad memories in my life. You know, and as far as I'm concerned, I've had a good life. Yeah. You know, I'm not living on the streets. I've got a house. Yeah. Innit? You've got food. You know, you walk through town and see them young people sleeping on the street. Yeah. That shouldn't be. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be. When I was a kid, there was about 3 tramps in town. Yeah. And that was it. No, it's true, you know. I come through town sometimes and I see this people, and now we're getting classed now as, drug culture again, aren't we? You're taking that bloody spice. Now, what are they saying? All people in Manchester are on spice like that. But you go through town and you see it yourself, though, it's true, you know.
Tell us the last thing before we cut off. Tell us the last thing you want to say about the Reno.
All I can say about the Reno, it was a place where you came, you seen, you learned, and you should have good memories of it for the rest of your lives, you know what I mean? You know, that's what I think about it. It was just a great place. It's like the Hacienda there. They've got a plaque outside the wall, haven't they, on that?
Yeah.
So we want a plaque outside.
We do, lad. We do.
You know,
we're going to have one.
Like we said before, people have said when I'm watching the clips, it was known all over the world.
Yeah.
It's like everybody said, "Oh, the Hacienda," and that. But we need a plaque to say this is where the Reno was.
We are going to have a plaque.
Yeah.
You believe me? We are going to have a plaque.
And I think they were happy when they pulled it down, though, weren't they?
You reckon?
Yeah. Like I said, most side was destroyed after the mines. What's the point?
Yeah. Right, I'm hitting us off. Thank you, Mr. Jeff Bassey.
Okay, thank you.